Hey there, this is Coffee Break Plans. This week my Happy Planner custom planner for 2026 arrived a little bit earlier than expected. So today I'm going to take everything out, take a look at it, and then start putting it together based on the 2026 blueprint that I already prepared. Let's crack into it. All happy planners are called customizable, meaning you can take pages and dividers and covers and change them around as much as you want, but you cannot buy them in all the separate pieces. You normally have to buy several other planners and then take them to pieces and put them back together how you like. With a custom planner, you get to choose everything. You choose your cover, your dividers, your pages with their particular layout. You can choose 18 months as well as 12 months, and you choose your discs. You can also purchase 6-month add-ons or 6-month extensions, I think they're called, and I did get one of those. So let's crack this open and see what I have in here. So I ordered the Twilight something. I can't remember what it was. I'll open those up and we'll see what those look like in a minute. I also purchased a 6-month extension for stress management, which is deeply ironic because I think the more planners I buy, the more stressed out it makes me. But I'm going to take a look and see what that has inside shortly. This is the main text block. It's the 2026 pages, January to December, and I ordered them in a horizontal layout, which is one that I haven't used before, but I've decided will be best for my work section of my planner. I ordered expander discs because the mediums just aren't cutting it for my main everyday planner. I already have some silver expander discs which I'm using currently, but I thought it would be nice to have a choice of colour. And also what you get in this box is a disc holder. Is it called a disc holder? The disc guide. So it makes it a little bit easier to put those first couple of elements on. But I think once you start building it, I imagine it becomes a pain. So they also give you instructions on the top of the box here, but I'm going to ignore them. I think that's good for somebody if you're buying one of these for the very first time. That would be really useful. But for those of us who have been using Happy Planners, me, for a whole 8 months, a lot of us have probably moved on. So even though I'm working with a classic size, which uses 9 discs, you get the full 11 disc set. So I've got my 9 plus 2 discs, and I'm just going to pop them in this guys. So that's ready to go for when I'm ready to set up. I'm putting that aside now, and we're going to unbox the rest of these items. So I'm going to unbox the stress management extension first because I'm not entirely sure what's in it, and I'd like to see what it actually involves before I decide whether I'm going to use it straight away or not. And I'm going to put it directly onto these metal crimson discs that I have just to keep it in good condition. I've said it before and I'll probably say it again. Once you punch your paper or your card, you need to protect this edge as much as possible, and as long as you're not constantly pulling them on and off discs all the time, the safest place to keep punched pages is on a set of discs. So this comes with its own tab, which is really useful, and a set of stickers. Alright, this has a month of, this is what I've noticed, some of the things I've been watching online, it has a month of page that goes into the monthly, so it's not connected to the divider itself, that's a whole separate page. I of course will just glue an Undated monthly over the top of that if I use it. So it's basically a vertical layout, but it has some extra sections here. Breathing, you need to do 90 seconds, and mindfulness 90 seconds. So it's prompts to do these. This looks like it's space to put in 4 things that you're going to do each day to look after your stress, and then you've got extra space for any extra notes, and that's most likely what it happens all the way through. Excellent. So that looks really, really useful. There's no dates on it, so I can use them as I see fit. So I'm going to put these on these discs and stash these away. So that's the little extension pack ready to go. It has its stickers, which I will put in a special box that I keep all my spare stickers in. I will either find or make some covers for it, but for now I just want to put that aside and move on to the rest of the planner. So here's my cover. This is my front cover. Oh, that's pretty at the back. I wasn't sure what the back was going to look like, but it looks fantastic. I think these dividers were really what sold me on it. They're just really pretty, and just these nice little sunsets or sunrise. Oh, must be sunset because it's the theme of Twilight. No calendars on the back. This was actually in the release that came in the June to July, sorry, the July to June version. So they go from July to June, but that's okay. I will just shift them around, and then we're into the back cover. What I also like about this is that there's no year on the front, so I can use these any year, and you can also flip and reverse and use that side too in years to come if you like. So I'm going to pop those aside for now. I'm just going to take a look at this horizontal layout, and hopefully it is everything I want. Here we are, 26, 27. Oh my god, that's just bonkers to look at. Excellent perpetual layout. Oh, it starts at July, of course, because this was a different. No, it doesn't start at July. I just panic over. Starts at January. I just flipped over too many pages at once. Ah, look at that. That's really lovely. That keeps the calendar separate from the divider, which I really, really like. I think people have been moaning about it for years to Happy Planner, so I don't know if it just comes with the custom planner or if it's a standard rollout of all their planners now, but that's fantastic. And look at this, all of this horizontal room for me to write down what I need to do each day. This, of course, will be my work planner. I haven't been functioning well using the little narrow verticals, so this looks fantastic. So I'm just going to pop this aside for now. So I did do a 2026 blueprint. So I'm going to be using this as I go along to compile the first 3 months of 2026 in the custom planner. So here we go. Disc guide ready. Got my cover ready. It's always hard putting them on the very first time. I don't know whether the guide is helping or hindering, to be honest. Go, and I'm going to put the back cover on first before I do any dividers. Now these dividers are all skew width, so I'm just going to rearrange them. It's really interesting because I end up with January starting down there, which is actually really useful when you have several planners running in the same planner. It's good to have these in a different place. And I'm only going to do January, February, March in this planner to start. So I'm going to pop those there so they're out of the way. Yeah, again, I think the disc guide is great to start, but it's already torn one of those dividers. It just makes it a little bit more complicated to use. I don't think it's holding them exactly where they need to go, so I'm just going to take them off. Okay, disc guide failure. Okay, these ones I'm going to pop aside. Now we head on into my blueprint to see what it says to do next. The name page and a year at a glance, which I'm going to glue to the perpetual calendar, and that's going to come out of here. It's a nice, I have to say, plain name page, which I really like. Okay, it's just me, obviously. Okay, I take it back about the disc guide. I think I'm just struggling to put these on properly. For the rest of the block will go aside. Now I do intend to glue these together, but I'm not going to do that right now. The reason I glue them together is because they're Sunday starts, which just make them utterly useless for me to use because my brain doesn't function with a Sunday start. So that's done. Now my top tabs are going to be future lists and notes. They are still in my current planner and I won't be taking them out just yet. I know I've done some fresh lists, but I'm going to take out my lists from here. These are adapted from a weekly quadrant layout. And what I do is I just print out my own titles and glue them on. So I have a list of things to buy, current projects, repairs, long term. I've left quite a lot of room for books to read, my inbox, and miscellaneous, and they're always quite useful just to have there in case you need to add something new. So that's my lists done. Coming into the personal agenda, no top tab, monthly dividers from new planner, which I have, and these are my monthly pages for those, and they have no dates, so I'm just going to assign 5 weeks to each month. I figured out what the problem is with that. It's because of the expander discs. I'm trying to do them out here and it's just not right. You've got to push them in a little bit more before you try and put them on because of the different size. This is where happy planners can get quite fiddly and annoying, but once set up, they are a joy to use. Okay, my final month of that first quarter. So January to March is all done here. What I'm going to do now is just move this aside, and I'm going to put these dividers into here to keep them safe until I need to use them. So I'm going to be a bit lazy and just put them at the front here. I'm not going to put them into each month as I go through. I don't think every month is going to need the 5 or 6 weeks that you get in undated planners. So I will adjust as I go through. Right, so they're there and for safekeeping. Now I need to look to see what is the next part of this blueprint. So moving aside all of the personal agenda pages, we now have a goals top tab placeholder. So I'm going to take that out and put that in my 2026 planner. And I have some goals pages already printed out. So swapping them over, put my goals in here and my divider. Now I will move my goals top tab over from my 2025 when I'm ready to go. Okay, so my goals are in and I've been really keen and I've got 4 quarters of goals ready to fill out when I do my 2026 goals. I even have a monthly goal page. I don't know where that came from, but I also have my yearly goals. That will be in a couple of weeks. I'll sort out what those goals look like. So now that I've done my goals, my next one is my creative top tab, and this is a placeholder, so I can take this out. And I was going to use these dividers for my creative section, but I realized I bought an academic planner for my creative section, and of course it started in July, so I already have a set of tabs for that section, and I could swap them over, but I think it's easier just to use the ones that come with this planner, and it's less stuffing around later on when the time comes to swap things over. So I'm going to put my creative top tab in and move January, February, March of my creative pages into here. I'll put these dividers back into their original planner later, but right now we've got work top tab placeholder, so I'll take that out. It says pages from a new planner horizontal, but I've also printed out undated monthlies, so I'm going to take 3 of these out. And I have a set of dividers for my work January, February, March, so I'm going to take these out as well, one at a time. So I'm going to put the placeholder in first. So I also printed out these sleep trackers. These are from Analida Designs, to track my sleep in my happy planner and then photocopy these sheets down to A5 size and then glue them into my daily planner from Sterling ink, which I use for the rest of my trackers. So I'm just going to put 3 months worth into my 2026 planner. So that's it set up, kind of ready to go. It's looking a little thin, especially on expander discs. And what I suspect is that I will probably be able to run 4 months at a time, which will be really, really useful. So as I get closer to 2026, I'll decide whether or not that is the case. There's a little bit more setting up to do, a little bit of gluing to do, make sure I've got all the printables that I need set up and punched and ready to go. But I consider that to be done to where it needs to be done, and I of course will prepare for January later on this year, probably later in December, and I will do all of those little tasks that haven't been done then and make sure that on January the 1st I'm ready to pick this planner up and get going with it. Hope that was helpful. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you next time.